who introducing to you the Inspired Family Leader, an interactive, provocative, and inspiring show that is going to challenge, that is going to equip, that is going to encourage men to strengthen their family leadership for national transformation. The Inspired Family Leader with Samuel A. Bakutana, every Saturday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. East African Time, here on Church of Uganda Family TV. Live, love, and lead. It's time to live exemplarily, love authentically, and lead relationally. Live, love, lead. This is the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, your host, a certified executive coach, an award-winning leadership consultant, global speaker and author, the CEO of Inspired Leaders International. It's a pleasure to have you watching this wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are watching from around the world right now. Look around. You will see an organization called Save a Girl Organization, SAGO. You will hear affirmative action for the girl child at the university. You will look around and see that there is money that is going into helping a girl child go back to school. Look around, you will see a movement of the women, and so on and so forth. Awesome programs, great noble causes. Looking around to ensure that mothers of the nation are given respect, mothers of the nation are given attention, mothers of the nation they are helped, their hand is held in order to move forward to the table of opportunity, table of prosperity, and table of dignity. But where has that left the boy child and the man? As the woman is advancing, where is her husband? As the girl child is being equipped and empowered, who will marry her and protect her meaningfully? Today, we are talking about a simple but powerful topic which says, what about men and the boy child? That's our topic today. What about men and the boy child? And to talk about this, to share important insights and nuggets of wisdom and revelations and inspiration about this topic is none other than somebody I've known for some time, a certified professional coach, somebody who has done a lot of work among the young people, among boys, in schools, in the sector of education, to mention but a few. Someone who is filled with wisdom and especially an authority on this very topic that we have this evening. My friend and a fellow coach, Miriam, Kaamate, Ndyanabo. You are very welcome, Miriam.
Thank you, Samuel. I'm very excited.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing my best.
Fantastic.
I'm doing my best.
Fantastic.
You know, I do what I manage, what I don't can't manage, I leave it. And then sometimes after leaving it, I remember that I am the author of a book called You Will Manage. Then I try it again.
I hear you.
How is family?
We are doing well. God has been very kind. Yes.
As always.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us about yourself and your family.
So I'm Miriam, Ndyanabo, Kaamate.
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 So has something to do with milk, that
yes,
name.
because I was born at a time when my dad was the production manager, Dairy Corporation. So part of that forms my love for milk, for yogurt, for cheese, and all those products.
I wish I had known before this program. I would have come with something here.
I literally tested everything that was going to get into production onto the market. So that's my name, Kaamate. I'm a mother of more than 1,000 children. 6 of them are my biological children.
Yes.
I do a lot of beautiful things. I love flowers.
Wow.
I love to draw. I love to teach. I love to listen to people. But above all, I have a passion for something.
Yes, a passion for something. Everybody needs to have a passion for something. When you have a passion for nothing, oh no, life is not worth living.
Have a passion for the boy child.
Isn't that unique
And
that
men.
a woman has a passion for a boy child?
It's engraved in me. It's everywhere. I can wake up at 2 a.m. or 3 and write something about the boy child.
Yes.
I will share it with everyone. I don't even care what people think, but it's about the boy child.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much about me. Presently, I'm the head teacher of the British School of Kampala, the secondary section.
Yes.
I work with a team of great people who support me and who leave me to enjoy my passion. I also sit on the Health Committee of the Ministry of Finance. We audit 20 referral hospitals. I do lots of HR audits. Pretty much, yes.
Yes.
That's it.
And a certified professional coach.
Coach.
A fellow member of the International Coaching Federation.
Yes, I am.
It's good to have you here today.
Thank you
Coach
so much.
Miriam.
Thank you so much.
And you know, this program is really a leadership program. It's a program about leadership.
True.
Only that it focuses on leadership in one of the major mountains of influence or spheres of influence, which is the family. So it's about leadership in the family. So let's begin from there. In your view, simple terms, what would you say leadership is generally?
So, you know, first of all, Samuel, everyone is a leader. There is no one God created and they can't lead. To lead is to manage. Even if you're in the market, running your stall,
Yes.
you are a leader
Yes.
on that stall. Even if you are tailoring,
Yes.
you have your machine, you are a leader in that portion.
Yes.
So leadership for me is managing. Leadership
Running
for me
things.
running things.
Yes.
So everyone is a leader, and there is no less or more leaders in the world.
Okay.
Only that as humans, we apportion ourselves weight. Yeah, but I think leadership is managing. Yeah.
Okay. That's quite an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the topic we are handling today, the issue of what about men and the boy child, let's use a metaphor here. Coaches are often using a lot of metaphors in their work. So let's use a metaphor here. The metaphor of a game of relay. You know, you see somebody holding that baton, and others call it a stick, whatever it is, running to give it to another, and so on and so forth. So if we are to use that picture of that game, what would you say is happening currently around the world vis-a-vis issues of men and the boy child?
So Samuel, you know, when there's a relay, there's cheering, right?
Yes, there is cheering.
So there's nothing that can
team.
happen in a relay if you're not cheering. Or else the people who are relaying are going to lose morale. So imagine that there is a relay in the whole world.
Yes.
And we all like, go, go,
Yes,
go,
the
go.
team.
And yes. And the world is one team.
Yes.
So there's this team that is relaying, receiving and going and arriving.
With a lot of morale and energy boosted.
And being boosted.
Yes.
But there's this other team which is not relaying and which is not boosted.
Oh, so this one team has the baton,
Yeah.
and they are giving it to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, and there is only one team of cheerleaders. They are cheering that team. Then the second team does not even have maybe the baton, is not passing it on, and nobody's cheering them.
Yeah, but it is trying because it has some energy.
Yes.
It is just trying, but then they're saying, no, you wait.
Yes.
It's not even your turn.
Yes.
But don't just relay. Don't go into the game.
Okay.
So if this is what we are looking at, we are in this world. We are a team. We are playing relay. Why isn't this game involving everyone? Why isn't it inclusive? Why isn't everyone? Why are others arriving? at the end mark.
Yes.
And others are not arriving.
Others are even not starting. Probably.
Others are not even starting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in other words, how are you relating that to the men and the women?
So I'm saying, why don't you give the boys a turn to also run?
Yes.
Why don't you also give the men
Yes.
the opportunity to see how much they can run? What makes you think they ran already?
Yes.
Who saw them? Why aren't we in this playground all together and enjoying?
History saw them. History saw them running, and they were also running alone. That's what I hear being said. So now it's time for a new team to run, and these ones should now sit back.
I hear you, Coach Samuel. So then what happens to the boy child and the men who are not in history? Those of today.
Okay. In other words, those who are facing the wrath
Yes.
of judgment based on what their forefathers and whatever did.
Exactly. Who were they? What is going to happen to them? Are they left behind? Who is going to cheer them? Are we going to live in history? Why don't we go back to history and pick from where we stopped?
Yes.
Yeah. And probably that will bring us to equilibrium.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a critical word, equilibrium. You know, language is important. And even in this gender conversation, language has been a powerful tool, used, misused, overused, abused, and underused.
True.
Language.
Yes.
There are, for example, some words, like 2, 3, 4 words that I hear often, and I don't know whether you think that they are well defined. Words like gender, words like inclusion, words like empowerment, words like equality. I would like to hear your opinion on each one of them. Are these words well defined? Start with the word gender. The way you hear it being used, is it well defined?
So Samuel, you are aware that in very many spaces, even people like I and you, the moment you mention the word gender, the first thing that comes to someone's mind is women. It's very funny.
Yeah, because we think it's a synonym.
No, but and that's what this journey has called it to be.
Yes.
It means women. Gender actually means both male and female.
Grammatically.
Exactly.
But how about operationally?
And that's where the issue is, and that's where the gap is. When we are operating with words, we should be very honest. You don't say gender and then you're exclusive.
Yes.
You say gender and you are inclusive. Exactly. So gender means us.
So in other words, you're saying most times it's actually not defined right. Whenever they say gender, they are particularly meaning women or girls.
Gender issues. Yes. And the moment you get into that conversation, it's actually women.
Yes.
They are highlighted. And you would rarely hear men. If they bring up men, it's when men are violent.
Yes, men are the beasts.
Men are bad.
Yeah. You've said inclusive and exclusive, those two words. So let's look at also that word, inclusion. Is it well defined? The way it's being used.
Let me cite another example. I like to use examples.
Of course, because they drive the point home.
They help everyone to fit in this conversation and understand. When, from my HR point of view, when I land on an advert that says, this opportunity would prefer women.
Okay.
Is that inclusive?
Oh, in other words, when they are putting an advert for a job, and then they say NB, not.
Yes.
Girls and women are encouraged to, like they are preferred to apply.
Exactly. So if you're a boy or a gentleman and you've just finished university, and you read that advert, do you feel included?
Well, first of all, I don't feel included, but most importantly, I will feel like even if I apply, I don't have a chance.
Exactly, that's the exclusion.
Okay.
But gender means inclusion. Yeah.
So in other words, we not only say gender to mean women most often, but we also say inclusion to mean exclusion of the boy or the man. That's what inclusion means.
Exactly, inclusion. Inclusion, not exclusion.
Okay.
Yeah. Because again, so where does it leave the men? Where does it leave the men? If you say women are encouraged to apply.
Maybe somebody would say it's because Many times when jobs are being applied for, most women maybe lack the confidence to come and apply. So they are being encouraged to come up also.
That's a maybe.
Okay.
That's a maybe, but probably it has a lot of things to do with choices. It has a lot of things to do with girls first, women first.
Yeah, I have seen that many times.
Yeah.
Girls first. I also saw another one saying
Yeah.
women now.
And I think we've been first for a long time. We need to begin to be first together.
Okay.
Because if we keep being first and leaving them,
Yes.
they will be angry, they will be violent, they will not learn, they will not be empowered, they will not love us,
Yes.
they will not be our friends.
If they don't love us, we don't mind. After all, we don't need them. We, the women, we don't need you, the men.
No, we need the men all the time. We need the men all the time. They are our friends, they are our children. God created man and woman. It was never woman.
Yeah.
It was man and woman.
Okay.
We need the men so badly everywhere. Just the same way they need us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
definitely need you, the women,
Yes.
without a doubt. So you look at that word gender, you
Yes.
look at that word inclusion.
Yes.
There is another one, equality.
Good.
When you look at it, is it well defined the way it's used generally?
So, you know, I'm really a child of the empowerment story.
Okay.
I am really a beneficiary.
Okay.
For instance, I got the 1.5 mark when I was going to
Additional points.
Makere.
Okay.
And many of us, it's as if it made us feel, if it wasn't that, wouldn't I have gone to the university? To the boys, we were maybe helped. We were helped to arrive.
Yeah, the boys will keep saying,
Yeah,
for you, it's because they gave
you don't feel the confidence of like you did all this
Yeah.
by yourself.
you don't
So
sit
when
here,
you
were
say
helped to come.
exactly, so that again makes us feel like equality, really equality. This is the issue, Samuel. When they say equality,
Yes.
they don't say sit like this. I'm a woman, you're
Yes,
a man.
yes, we are equal.
We are here. We are. I think they meant equal opportunities.
Oh, not really equality,
Yeah.
but equal opportunities.
I think they
Amazing
were
difference.
kind in their usage of that word. I think they meant equal opportunities. It was not, if you have this, I'll also
must
have
also
this.
have this.
If you go this way, because
Yes.
and I'll
If you
tell
can do this, I can also do this.
And I'll tell you something, Samuel. I'm very strong. I'm very strong-willed. I'm tough. There are things I can't do as a woman.
But you don't look tough, Miriam.
Yes, I
You look kind,
Yes.
compassionate.
but there are things I can't do.
Yes.
Much as I would have loved to be equal to the men. There are things I can't do. So maybe it's equal opportunities to sit on this table, equal opportunities to travel,
Yes.
to work. Maybe
Yes.
it's
To
equality.
lead together.
Yeah. Again, when you mention the word equality, immediately it's equality of men and women.
Yes.
But it is women to men. It's
Okay.
women to men.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
So in other words, it's assumed women are here,
Yeah.
men are here, so the equality is to bring women to the level of men.
So
They never ever think that a man can also be here, so that equality means
Equality.
man coming to the woman.
So Samuel, so
is
equality.
a revelation.
So equality should mean equality.
Okay.
Yeah, equality should. All these words should
Wow.
mean what they mean. Yeah, it's and for how long won't we be equal? So I think it's equal opportunities, and I think the world has done so well in this. But I think it's caused a gap.
Yes.
It's caused a gap that we need to address. Yeah,
We do.
Yeah.
So not only the word gender, not only the word inclusion,
Yes.
not only the word equality,
Yes.
but let me give you a fourth word.
Which one?
Empowerment. When you look at the way it is used
Yes.
in gender mainstreaming, in gender conversations, do you see that it is well defined? Especially not just in the dictionary definition, but in the practical usage, in the day-to-day operation of things. Empowerment.
So Samuel, who needs to be empowered today? Is it the girl or the boy? Is it the men or the women? Because empowerment.
Yes.
Empower to do what? Empower
For me,
me to
I
do
know
what?
basically that when you say enable, you mean put ability into.
Yes.
When you say empower,
Yeah.
it means put power into.
Yes.
So who needs power?
That's my question to you. Who needs power? The Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda.
Yes.
Has she been empowered by being Speaker, and so the Deputy Speaker is not empowered enough? The word is still misused.
Yes.
By being a Speaker, she's empowered. No, she's right in her place. Because the situation has enabled her.
Okay.
But to say she's empowered to beat a man, to step on men, empowered to do what?
So in other words, empowerment should have an end goal. That's what I'm hearing you say. You should be not just empowered,
to
but
do what?
empowered to do something.
Yeah.
Empowered to drive this car. Empowered to lead a meeting. Empowered to do something.
Empowered to do these things. Empowered to run the inclusion story.
Yes.
Empowered to support the boy and the girl.
Yes.
But empowered to do what?
Empowered for economic, growth or something.
Yeah. Empowered. And all these words, Coach Samuel, they are used in their negatives. They don't come with a positive vibe. Empower, because the word empower looks like this.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Who? For... Because empower is to feel, is to give.
Feel with power.
Yeah. For what?
Yes.
So I stop going in my periods. When they empower me, will I stop going into my periods? When they empower me, will I stop growing breasts? Empowering me to do what?
Yes.
And who has been empowered and who has not been empowered?
Okay.
Has
or
everyone...
who has taken away the power that is being reclaimed?
Or are we empowered?
Or is empowerment the same as getting a leadership position, for example? Would it mean that now that I am in a certain position, I am now empowered? I'm just trying to think with you now the questions you ask.
Do you understand that we actually need to think about these words in depth before we can even use them on our children?
I see this.
Yeah. If you tell your daughter, you're empowered.
Yes.
So which word are you going to use on your son?
You are enabled.
Why? Why are the words different?
Because this is a boy and this one is a girl. They are different.
I think the idea of this conversation we are having is to lighten the world, to make things light for all of us to live in peace.
Okay, not for men alone or not for women alone, but for both men and women, boys and girls.
Yes. For whichever word we use, it should be to cause peace, it should be to cause unity. It should be to bring us together. I can't go in bed and say I'm empowered. So what? It's not helpful. It's not helpful when I'm writing my thesis to know I'm empowered.
Yes.
Where does it even arrive? In my narrations? It's words that have been misused and put in our mind to actually make us look bad.
Yes.
Because even when you speak, naturally, if you have a lot of energy, people will take you to be an empowerment child.
Okay. As long as you speak with energy, they say you are empowered.
Those ones.
Even when emotionally you're crumbling, even when financially you're castrated, even when fundamentally you're down. But as long as you speak with energy, you are mistaken as someone empowered.
Which is wrong.
Of course.
Which is very wrong. Maybe we need to change the vocabulary and change those words.
And I know that a people's culture is hidden in their language.
Oh, it is.
I know that a people's way of thinking is hidden in their language.
Even our wealth
Yes.
is hidden in our language.
Yes.
Once you misuse certain words, we are finished.
So, what are some of your observations concerning the boy power and versus girl power dynamics? If you have even any example you could share from your own life or as you were growing up, you could bring it up. What are your observations about the girl power versus boy power dynamics? How are they playing out?
So I've been telling my siblings how they really, actually I've been telling every member of my family.
Yes.
How we really must work hard to give birth to more boys and nurture them. Because in my generation, my dad especially puts a lot of emphasis on the girls.
Okay.
It was very clear. And we are suffering. Our boy power is very low.
What do you mean when you say our boy power is very low?
It's like the girls are there.
You mean in your family, the girls are
there.
Yes.
They've done well.
Because they were given that attention by your father.
Yeah.
And then your brothers?
Yeah, and I keep saying we all ate bread and blue band.
Yes.
We were driven in the same cars. What happened? I know what happened.
Okay.
I know what happened. I was told things that they were never told. So they are less.
Yes.
They are less in knowledge, they are less in confidence, they are less in ability. Because a lot of emphasis was put on us. When I was going to university, my dad put buckets of milk in his no problem. And he lined up with me to get my admission.
What is no problem? His no problem.
Those no problem bags?
Oh, it was a type of a bag.
Yeah, you remember
no
those
problem.
bags that our fathers used to carry?
Yes,
And he moved with me.
With buckets of milk in the bag.
Yeah, and he was very excited for us. I don't remember him going to university with my brothers.
Oh, yes.
I think they needed that love.
Of course. Every child needs the love of a father.
I think they needed that presence. Our shopping lists were always longer.
Yes. Maybe your needs were many more.
I think he should have been more considerate.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see it in my brothers' faces that we were getting more. And this is a story.
They were not feeling equality.
Yeah, and this is a story of many families of our time.
Yes.
In the 80s and 90s.
But now you're saying something that is quite provocative. It's not your mom who did it. It's your dad who did it.
Yes.
So aren't men to blame for their current problems with the boys and the men?
Because they had to fit in that trend.
Okay. So there was a social kind of...
Yes. You had to have a girl at university.
Okay.
Your girls had to thrive.
Okay.
And so the boys were left behind. I know that my brothers would go back home to supervise the tea chambers, to look after the cattle, and much of our money that paid our fees was because our brothers went back to the village to look after the people at the farm, to see how things were going. So he was in the vibe of the girl child.
Yes.
And that's how it swept many fathers.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. We are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we will be looking at the different dynamics of coaching men versus coaching women. We'll look at the different dynamics concerning mental health as far as the men and the women are concerned. We'll look at what is happening in the world of fashion. We will take a look at what is happening in the world of religion concerning the men and the women dynamics. We will see something concerning the affirmative action, and we will also look at what is sparking off the different movements and so on and so forth as far as the issue of the men and the boy child are concerned. So, what about the men and the boy child? Let's take a short break.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Live exemplarily, love authentically, and lead relationally. This is the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, and today I have an awesome guest, the one and only certified executive coach Miriam Kaamate, Ndyanabo, the head teacher of the British School of Kampala. here to share with us on the very important topic that we are dealing with, which says, what about men and the boy child? What about men and the boy child? That's the issue we are grappling with today. And we have already looked at a number of things in the first segment of this program. We've looked at the need for redefinition of some words like gender, words like inclusion, words like equality, words like empowerment. And we have seen that when we are talking about equality, maybe the intention should have been equal opportunities. Maybe we should have been thinking of equity, whereby we are saying, let's look at who has a need at an individual level, whether it's a boy or a girl, help them to come up to get better, but not pitting genders against each other. So we continue with this conversation right now with Miriam. Miriam, you are a certified professional coach, just like me. Together we are members of the International Coaching Federation, yes, Uganda chapter. Without breaching confidentiality that is a must in the coaching profession, what has been your observation concerning coaching men vis-a-vis coaching women?
Wow. First of all, I love coaching. Every time I have a client, I really prepare, yes, well, and I look forward, because you know, when you have a new person in your life, you get to add on your networks. You're happy to hear what people have to say. As a matter of fact, as coaches, we actually are on a journey of learning and unlearning. Yeah. You know, much as we are coaching people,
it's a growth partnership.
We're really on a partnership. I should tell you. It's a thought-provoking growth partnership. As you listen to people, as you help them move on the next inch of their lives, you learn a lot. Yeah. And here's what I've learned. The women have got a vibrancy when they are coming for coaching. Okay. They are ready. They have something moving. They have something going. They are into it. They want to get the worth of it. Yes. The men don't have time. They are busy.
They are busy.
Yeah. Many of the coaches that I've had, yes, will ask you if they can do it the next day, will tell you how tired they are.
Okay, the males.
The males. They will need much more than being moved. They will need to be listened to much more. Okay. And as you listen, you catch lots of things that need references. Lots of things that need references. So for me, in my coaching world, I've actually enjoyed coaching men more than women, because it's easier to coach the women.
Oh.
Yes.
So how come you say then you have enjoyed coaching men? I thought you would enjoy coaching those whose coaching is easier to you.
No, because it tasks my mind to listen more, especially with my eyes. To listen with my eyes. Yes. You know, when you're coaching and you listen with your ears, you miss something. Yes. Many times when clients are speaking to you, their expressions are actually selling what is within.
That's so true. I remember one time I was in a coaching conversation with an executive client, and then he said something like, when I reached there and opened the door, I just wanted... Then he kept quiet.
And then you the action.
So then I also said, okay, so that day when you wanted, what did that mean to you? Because for him, he understood this.
That's very powerful.
So if I get your point.
Yeah, so when I'm coaching men, I really engage my eyes. What exactly did he mean when he turned his eyes like that, when he closed his eyes while talking, when he bent? What exactly did he mean?
So when you say they are busy, they don't have enough time, yet the ladies are having the vibe, the vibrancy with which they come into the coaching session, what does this tell you? What do you observe about that?
It tells me that automatically the ladies want to grow. They are very systematic. They want to grow.
Yes.
The other side, it tells me that men need a lot of support. a lot of support to understand you need this coaching. It's
Yes.
going to work for you this way. And it takes a lot of, I don't want to use the word maturity for coaching, but it takes a lot of understanding of men
Yes.
to really support them on their journey.
An objective, unbiased understanding
Yes.
of men.
Yes. It takes, and not to say that I'm not supposed to say this, sometimes it's very, very important that men have a mentor.
Most
That-
times.
Yes. It's very, very important that men have a mentor, men have a counselor. Because it's, for them, it's more than listening. I can listen to the ladies. I can listen and know, yeah, that's where they are. Their
Yes.
steps. I want to be done by the 12th week because I have this coming up, and you
Yes.
know, you get the journey.
Easily.
Yeah, easily.
Even the information is processed externally.
Yes.
But the man's information processing is more internal.
Yeah. So you have to take your time. So many things in men are not readable. They won't give you information easily.
They are discernible.
Yeah, they are very careful with what they are telling you.
Yeah.
They want you to read them as tough on this. I can manage it. I can do it. I didn't need this too much, and yet inside them there is something they want to share. There's something
Isn't
they need
that
support
ego?
on.
Shouldn't they be humble? Maybe that's just ego.
It-
They
it-
could be arrogant and proud. I
Isn't
think.
that something then I and you should be mentoring them on, that it's okay. It's
To be
okay to,
vulnerable.
yeah.
Yes.
It's okay to talk.
Yes.
It's okay to be listened to. It's okay to talk. Just talk.
It's even okay to be weak at some
Men,
things.
just talk. Just talk.
When we talk, you use it against us.
No, just talk, learn, because that's what you've been told.
Yes.
It is well, talk. It is well. It's something we need to tell the boys.
Yes.
The boy child. I can't bend you, Samuel, now,
Yes.
but I can bend
you
your
actually
son.
Can, but it's difficult. It's more
Exactly.
difficult than
I can
bending my
bend
son.
your son. I can tell your son it's okay to cry.
Yes.
It's okay to talk. Tell me. So that way he grows knowing that it's okay to talk.
He gets in touch with
Yeah.
his human side,
Yes.
his emotions, with compassion, with love, with passion, not only being mechanic and robotic.
And Coach Samuel, when
Yes.
you get the men to talk,
Yeah,
they talk.
they do. I
We
agree with
need
you.
to get the men to talk. We need to get the men to talk. We
The
must
how
be
is the issue.
intent.
Maybe many times when we are trying to get the men to talk, we do it by provoking them, by telling them how weak they are, so that they can talk.
No.
Yes, that's what I often see happening. I saw a topic given to a friend of mine to speak about last weekend in Namugongo in central Uganda, and the topic was they had invited her to come and speak on the topic that says, "Men, where are you?" And I think that's a mindset that is all over the place.
Yeah.
A mindset of,
Was that on St. Peter's Day?
yes, it was, yes.
That was our day, our church day. Was that Professor, Doctor?
Well, no, but it was somebody else, but the topic was, "Men, where are you?"
Yes,
so
that-
that question, I find that it is angering men more than it is helping them.
But that conference was very, very helpful to many men.
The one you are talking
Yes.
about, which is quite different from the one I'm talking
It's
about.
that one.
Well, it was a lady who spoke in that.
Yes,
one.
it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was a very helpful conversation.
Yes.
It was a very helpful session. You should have been there. Yeah.
So now, out of the world of coaching, what about the world of mental health? What's your observation, men versus women?
Men are shock absorbers. It kills. It's painful for us to think we can heap, we can tell them anything, we should expect them to do everything, and we expect them to be normal like us. In the world of mental health, we are talking about, if I have it, you have it. If I'm scared about the rains, you should also be scared about the rains. Why is it that when I come to you, I have to say, I'm scared about the rains, and it should be you who should take it?
I am a man.
You understand? What if we are scared together?
Then I should be the one to swallow a pin and pretend all is well.
So in his silence,
Yes.
he takes the shocks and absorbs them. they
Yes.
kill him. He
Yes.
gets into depression.
He lacks emotional hygiene.
Yeah, he gets stressed. The mind is compacted. That is why the statistics show around 77% of men suffer mental illness.
77.
77% suffer mental, and I'm talking about a global number. Yes, mental illness.
The world of
And
men is finished then.
it's not finished. We
Okay.
can redeem it. We can redeem
It's
it,
redeemable.
especially us women. We can redeem it by understanding that some of these things we can actually work together with men. You know, we can support them on their journey. We can support them in their quest, you know, to want to be men.
Okay.
Just the same way they support us. Yeah.
So the world of mental health, you find that most of the people who have the challenges with mental health are men.
Samuel, if you gave men this room and asked them to cry in private, they would all cry. Yes.
I've seen it happen.
Yes.
I've seen it happen.
They would all want to cry.
I've seen it happen.
And Samuel, men would cry for the same reasons. Suppression of
Yes.
feelings,
Yes.
lack of expression of
Yes.
feelings.
Yes.
They've been stolen. Their spirits have been taken away because someone wants them to be a different person
From who they actually
from who
are.
they are. Our expectations of them are very,
Angelic.
yeah, I can't, you're taller than me.
Yes.
It means when we stand up, you can reach there. So when you ask me to touch there, I strain. Many men are strained, but they can't say it.
Yes.
If you interact with women in many conferences, they'll tell you how their husbands speak well in sleep.
They speak well
Yeah,
in sleep.
speak while they are asleep.
Oh.
Like complaining, quarreling, scared of something. That's the only safe
When
place
they are
they have.
asleep.
Yes, that's the only
When
safe
they're
place.
dreaming.
Yeah. That I think that's like their safe place of expressing their fears.
But that's a sickness.
It is.
Isn't
That's it. That's it.
Yes.
Many women interview women. Men talk in the night. They are scared of something. They are worried of something else, but they can't talk about it normally during the day.
Yes. When you say
Until
how,
they
I say,
go to
oh,
bed.
I'm okay. What is well?
Meaning they are active in sleep. They are having those conversations, those tough conversations in
And
sleep.
passive when not
Yeah.
sleeping. The world
But
of
when they
men.
get up in the morning, they put on their
Yes.
jackets and
Put on their jackets
everything is fine. Everything
Yes.
is not fine, man.
Yeah.
Everything is not fine.
It's not. Not all is well.
Talk to someone.
Look at the world of fashion. What do you see vis-a-vis men and women? Attire. What do you see?
You see, I did a research on style and fashion.
Okay.
And here are my wonders. So there are all these beautiful things for girls. You can find them, there are plenty of them. If you
When
have
say
a
beautiful things, you mean
pink, red,
Oh,
yellow,
the
flowers,
flowers, yes.
beautiful ribbons,
Ribbon.
shoes,
Yeah.
high, low, flat,
And
bags.
answers.
So many beautiful things.
for the
Okay?
girls, yes.
But the things for men are basic. Usually it's
And they
blue.
are, brown and black and finished.
Yeah, you need a black and blue trouser and you're done. Why? There are very many men who want to be smart
And bright.
and bright
out.
and appealing.
I am one of those.
I can see your flower and I love
that
it.
I bought from my wife, you know.
Somewhere. And it's beautiful if it
Yes.
brings you confidence, if it makes you happy.
Yes.
I call upon the world of stylists,
Yes, fashion
the
and design.
fashion and design, to continue taking care of the man.
Yes.
It's okay for the men to be, I mean, I see them these days. There is an emancipation of men in pink shirts.
Yeah, I have some pink shirts.
Yeah.
Personally, I have greens, I have red, I have white.
Lovely, but
Yes.
you know, when that had just happened, people used to look at men who dressed like that like a problem. Something was not right with
That
them.
they are acting like
Yeah,
men,
so we
like
need,
women.
yeah, we need to begin to accept, and acceptance is very, very key.
So in other words, we should not corner men into the world of black and white.
Yeah.
We need to also get them into the world of color.
We need to, when you're dressing the children in the morning,
Yes.
you get the ribbon of the girl, show her how to tie it, show her how to belt, show the boy too how to brush his hair.
Yes.
Show him how to throw his collar. When you show the girls how to organize their breasts in
Yes.
the bra
Yes.
during the teenage, show the boy also how to put on his underwear and how to organize
The socks.
himself.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are, the word is inclusive.
Inclusive.
Everything we do.
We should not be inclusive by being exclusive.
Yes, and the other thing is empower, engage,
Yes.
and educate the boy child and the
Involve.
men.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Empower,
Empower,
engage,
engage,
and educate them.
and educate.
Educate the men about women so that they know, oh, at such and such a time of the month, a week before, this is what will happen.
Yes. This is what I should expect.
Yeah.
And when it happens, this is how I should behave or
Treat them.
treat it. Yes.
Yeah. So that there is no collision.
I can tell you nobody told me anything about what you are talking about. I found out in books, practically, online.
Not only you, Samuel. It's many
I thought I was
men.
the only unlucky one.
But now that you're there,
Yes.
you will hold the boy child and tell him
Yes.
and educate him.
And engage him.
Engage him,
And
empower him,
Yes.
empower him about everything, empower him to love,
Yes.
empower him to support the women so that we reach our story of equality.
Yes.
Equity, maybe.
In its truest
Maybe
sense.
equity is a better word.
You've opened my eyes to the issue of the equal opportunities. I've often said equality, maybe equity. So
Yeah,
now I
because
have this other angle of equality, maybe equal opportunities.
Yes.
And it makes a lot of
Do you
sense.
think the speaker, again, I keep using the speaker of parliament in Uganda because probably that's the most recent placement.
Yes.
Do you think by being speaker and Honorable Taiwa being deputy, is it equality or equal opportunities? Because they could have brought a man, they could have said, let the man be the
Yes,
speaker.
Because they do it. you
Yeah,
know.
well, what do you think?
I think it's more of equal opportunities.
Yeah, and people have been educated that it's okay for a woman to be head.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And I would wish that the world continues on the journey of educating, of empowering, also enabling.
Yes.
Let us be enablers. Yeah.
So now, we've looked at the world of coaching, men versus women. We've looked at the world of mental health, men versus women. We've looked at the world of fashion, men versus women. How about the world of religion, especially church leaders? What are your observations concerning how they treat this aspect? For example, in the issue of premarital counseling and preparing men and women for marriage.
First of all, Coach Samuel, I'd like to encourage religious leaders to preach in the time.
Preach in the time.
In
What does
the
that
time.
mean? In
The
time?
same way I and you are parenting in the time. There are things your dad didn't do,
Yes.
didn't use that you're using. Parenting in the time. Because
In
times
other
have
words,
changed.
understand the times
Yeah.
and then preach the message that
Yes.
is relevant in the times,
Yeah.
yet faithful to Scripture.
Yeah. So I want to encourage the church, the imams, all religious leaders to preach in that time.
Yes.
Tell people what is in that time. Look for it, research and refer to our Bibles, but let's tell people the things in that time.
That reminds me, let me be a little bit provocative here, like the promise of this program. It's an inspirational and provocative
Yes.
program. About 2 weeks ago or so, I saw a post you put on Facebook, and it was a post addressed to His Grace, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda.
Yes.
And you were making a comment about remarks he made that he's going to reward the virgin girls. And then I saw you saying, hey, what are you going to also do to the boys that have kept themselves?
Exactly.
By the way, that post is what caught my attention. I said, let me look for this lady.
And I love him. Yes. I love the bishop. I admire the bishop. The Archbishop. The Archbishop. In his first days in office, he said he was advocating for the boy child.
He still really is.
And I know he's doing a good job. And I want to rally behind him and be one of his biggest supporters and say, Archbishop,
yes,
reward the virgin boys too. So we can have more virgins. We can't have only virgin girls.
Yes.
We should also have virgin boys. That way we have pure children in the world. So again, to your question.
Yeah, of the church leaders, especially in premarital counseling, how are they handling the gender?
So you know that many young couples, especially the ladies, will tell you that sessions are hinged on women. You women, you have to do this. You women, you have to do this. Rarely is it, men, you will do it like this. This is what you should expect. Okay. I think there should be more balanced education. The church, I don't want to address myself to only the church. I would prefer to say religious leaders.
Yes, all the religious leaders across the divide.
As they get into this, they should be inclusive.
Okay. Point noted.
Yes.
So, looking at all these that we've talked about, right from the world of fashion, to the world of coaching, to the world of mental health, the world of, church, what then is your brief opinion on affirmative action for girls? In light of all these things you've shared, what would be your brief opinion? Because I see we just have about 4 or 5 minutes to end the program.
So, why would I have an opinion on something that I think was achieved partially? Very imbalanced.
That is an opinion already.
Yes, very imbalanced. You went to fetch, you fetched just little. You should have fetched, or let me use the word fishing. You should have thrown your net wider.
Yes.
So that affirmative action is something everyone benefits from. And where we are at now, I think we are good to go. I think we are good to go. I'll tell you something, Coach Samuel. Until we change these words, they are going to remain stories of our time. If you tell a university child today about affirmative action, they are way above it. Maybe we could change the wording.
Redefine these words. I hear you. I hear
These programs were intended to actually, when you look at the policies, they were intended to be inclusive. Affirmative action in the 90s was intended to be very inclusive.
Of all the men and the women, the boys
no discrimination against color, no discrimination against gender, no discrimination against height, no discrimination against religion, no discrimination against tribe.
Yes. That's real inclusion.
Did that happen?
I'm not sure.
Don't you think affirmative action means women?
It's sad to hear that, but it's true. So
it's the silent truth.
One thing that keeps, bugging my mind is that when people are talking about all these things we have talked about today, you see them being extremely careful as they address these issues. Is this whole conversation a dangerous taboo?
Yes. I have friends of mine who no longer talk to me because they think I should. They think I'm supporting men. They think I'm killing the feminism story. Not true. I'm actually a big supporter of it. If you want to flip it, I'm actually saying, let's get the men on board so we are happier. So we are together with them. It's a taboo because there's politics in it, there's funding in it. So some people don't want you to talk about it.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So when you talk about it, you are stepping in their place.
Don't talk about it. Stop.
You are interrupting their income.
Don't even mention. No, we should mention these things because it's man and woman, it's girl and boy. Together. Not
boy only. Not girl only.
Exactly.
Not men only.
Yes.
Not women only. But men and women,
Yes.
boys and girls.
Yes. We shouldn't talk about certain things in whispers. And then other things are amplified.
You seem to be listening with both your eyes and ears on this topic. Where do you get the drive from to get into this advocacy? What sparked off your concern for boys and men?
Because and you see again, Coach Samuel, because women were mistreated,
Yes.
because women were left behind,
Yes.
women were beaten every day.
Yes.
Women are still mistreated, women are still beaten. The same things are still happening, but the women are quiet. Because I know for sure that there are people who drive their cars every morning going to work.
Yes.
They bring food,
Yes.
and they go back home and they ask them for socks, they ask them for tea,
Yes.
and they have to provide for their marital, you know?
Yeah, duties.
Exactly. So when I look at that, I still think, for me, my passion comes from a place of understanding that we need to calm down and understand each other.
Okay. Calm down, understand.
Let this not look like a fight. Let this look like a peaceful thing. Maybe you want to say, we could even say women work half day and we go back home and take care of our families and rest.
Out of mutual understanding.
Out of mutual understanding,
Yes.
and the men work. We need to come up with these peaceful resolutions.
Yes.
And where I also get my passion from, because I see, I'll tell you something, when you say there's a campaign for prefects in schools,
Yes.
girls move faster. You will have 3 years running with girls as head prefects. And the boys just back off. There's this tiredness in the males. Like I don't want to get into it. Let them go. There's that attitude. It's in boys, it's in men. Even when we are driving, the women want to, and the men are very peaceful. Let them go.
Yeah.
There is something, and that makes the men get laid back.
Yes.
So mine is to say, guys, get up.
Yes.
Let us move. You're still loved. You're encouraged. We are your supporters.
Wow.
Yes.
Given the fact that peace in the world actually starts in the family, look straight into that camera and speak to the viewers as your final parting shots. What do you think needs to happen in the family going forward?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor speaking to you. Now, I'm a huge believer of unity in the family. And I still believe that the family as the smallest unit is what builds nations, is what builds the world. If there's no peace in the family, there's no peace in the country, there's no peace in the world. Let us work together to build peace in our families. As a wife, support your husband. As a sister, support your brother. As a teacher, be inclusive. As an employer, do not discriminate. Let us support families. Let us build values that help us to create greater nations and a greater world. Peace be with you. Thank you.
If you are talking about inclusion, let it not mean exclusion of one gender. If you are talking about equality, let it mean equal opportunities for both. If you are talking about gender, let it mean men and women. You are talking about empowerment, let it mean for all of them, boys and girls. And for us to do that, let us engage, let us empower,
Educate.
let us educate, and let us enable. Both boys and girls, both men and women. It's been quite an amazing time today to share on the topic that was asking a simple question. What about men and the boy child? Go and think about it. The Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel Bakutana. Until next time, go and live exemplarily. Go and love authentically. And go and lead relationally. Thank you very much.